How's it, Earthlings? I welcome the Great Mother in each of you with an open heart. I connect with the energies of the Cosmic Mothers and Gaia, the essence of our planet. And in this timeless reading, she's offering a message for those who are aligned to receive it. And dear Mother, what do you want to share with us today? There is a pattern in your life that has been repeating a lot, and it's been repeating in your life since childhood. And you had enough. You had enough of experiencing the same lesson over and over. It's something that does come from childhood, something that is maybe part of your whole family, but it is connected to ego. And you know, ego is just according to Jung, it's just a bundle of thoughts that we have about ourselves. So if you say your name, if you use the language you're using, if you express yourself in your language, if you have judgment or ideas, it's connected to the ego. So there is two forms of ego. There is the pure ego, and then there's the impure ego. So if you ever hear a message that says you have to eradicate your ego, it's impossible, and it's a very unhealthy way to approach working with your ego. It's really having this deep conversation. It's just having a deep conversation and asking yourself, why am I thinking this? Where did I get this idea from? Why do I prefer to outline the narrative in this specific way? Why am I using this word? Why do I keep on using this same word? Who taught me this word? So it's just, that's all it is. It's just having a beautiful conversation with your ego, with that bundle of thoughts that carries your name. And then as you get to the answers of, oh, why did I use that expression? Oh, somebody told me that in school, and it's not relevant anymore today. So I'm gonna let it go, and I'm gonna release it. And that's purification. That's all it is. It's just a softening into your authenticity. You know, that's why they say authenticity is actually a higher vibration than love, because authenticity is the vessel that you are expressing your love from. So as you purify your ego, your vessel is getting more and more authentic, and it starts to radiate, and it's just a beautiful dance between love, ego, and authenticity. And that is just a effortless way of stepping into a space where you can look at your patterns and break them. There seems to be a cluster of energy over here that could have created this thought form in you, or in your family, or in your neighborhood, your community. And I can just tell you what I see here, but there is energy of jealousy and sabotage, or cunning. Somebody's cunning. There was somebody, or there is still somebody, or there was somebody, or it was part of your family structure. It was something that's very jealous and cunning, and it was just part of the energy. It's not like, oh, they went through a phase where they felt like this. This is the energy they carry, and they will unfortunately go to the grave with this energy, and it's affecting everybody around them, including you. It really affected your mind, and this is what caused some of these shadows, or this ego that's coming up in you, because this person created an interject into your mind, and you know who that is. I don't think they're in your life. For some of you, they're not in your life anymore. This is like it could be a great-grandparent, a grandparent, a parent, or an ex. Yeah, and this energy have really disempowered you. But you have done some deep shadow work, and just keep on going. Just keep on swimming the waters of your ego and have a conversation with it. I've heard about this really interesting practice where you can name this voice in your head, these negative ideas or thoughts, or you can give it a name. And then when you sit down and you have a conversation with your ego, you can call your ego this name. Like you can say, Janine. I'm just making something up, because I'm gonna call my ego this negative interjects. I'm gonna call them Janine, and then you can sit down and say, hey Janine, what's up with this knee-jerk behavior? Let's talk about it. Let's explore this. Just to make it more approachable. And you will be surprised when you don't show up with this, I have to fix my ego. Then it's almost like your ego is fighting you more, and it's coming up with more ways to justify its behavior. But if you just have this softness and you sit and you have this conversation, it's fascinated by the fact that your ego is seen and witnessed and listened to, how much will come out. A wonderful practice to do, especially after your meditation, when you're in a place of quiet. It's a wonderful practice to journal. Maybe your ego, or this Janine, wants to talk to you through writing. Some of us work better that way. So find what works for you. Don't just copy a method out there that is seen as a normal method. Just find that way of that works the best for you. Yeah, and as this pattern is going to be broken, because it's centered in your life right now. It is something that you are toiling with, and Spirit is saying that once you can take care of this pattern, which just is going to be fast and easier than you think. You've put so much weight on it that it's going to create a state of flow and wholeness. It's going to create a flow in your life of just giving. There's going to be a lot of grace being given to you. I mean, you already have grace, but it's just this extra flow of grace. And I personally call it the divine slipstream. You know, when it just takes you where you need to be. Yeah, so watch out how you speak to yourself. Be kind, be compassionate. Really nurture yourself. Nurture yourself, because that is how you can play an essential role in your community. Once you are in flow, in this divine slipstream, you are gonna receive so many new connections and projects and seeds that you're gonna plant, and you're gonna be very helpful to people, but not in a codependent way, just in a really beautiful way. You're gonna step into what they call karma yoga. Karma yoga is when you serve humanity for the greatest good. So it's more than just helping from individual to individual. It's helping the energy of those around you, assist the energy of those around you that might be in need. So you're going to turn into this being that is just going to in flow know how to work with people's energies. Yeah, there's something about this pattern that you are fighting that have slowed down things in your life. There's some blessings that is coming in, but it's taking its time. And you know it's this bad habit, this whatever it might be, self-sabotage, bad habit. It's blocking it. And I see there is it's a little bit out of the camera's view, but here is a heart. Maybe you are struggling with relationships, holding on to love, and or you struggle being in your heart. There's a few messages around that. Yeah, it's you seeking to stabilize. You feel like a table with only 3 legs. So if just something is placed wrong on top of this table, it will topple. And you keep taking off the 4th leg of this table. And Spirit is saying, this pattern, this is what is taking off that 4th leg of the table that makes it wonky. Makes it maybe wonky for love to come into your life. Brings in all this, or maybe bring in people in your life that is really sabotaging you, or negative and maybe narcissistic. And it's time for you to have, for your table, your soul table, to have 4 legs, so that you can invite those that resonates with you to sit around this table with you, without to worry that the table will topple. I'm going to ask Spirit if there's any additional messages I actually feel like doing some oracle cards today. Let me first just do a couple oracle cards to see if there's anything additional. Maybe Spirit wants to talk more about this exact pattern that you have, that you want to break. It maybe Spirit can give us a few patterns. And let's see. Okay, just want me to. Just feel that. This one. Any more, Spirit? And there's 3. Let's see. So the first card here is lonesome. Maybe the pattern in your body is that you maybe you are avoiding love, maybe you're avoiding connection. Maybe you don't ask for help when you need it. Maybe you believe that nobody can love you. So this can be the shadow work that needs to be done in the pattern that is being shown to you. The second card is mystery. I remember there was a time when I went through the dark night of the ego. And I keep saying to myself that there's no more magic. There's no more magic. I have no more magic in my life. All the magic have left me. And I just remember, like, in that darkness, I kept saying it to myself. And then how my guides and my ancestors started to show me that there is always been magic around me at all times. I just prefer not to see it. I prefer to live, to make a choice to not accept enchantment, to not accept that there's more going on in this world. And that was part of a deep work for me, was to accept that life is magical, life is beautiful, and there is things that we don't understand, and there is energies that's there that's larger than us. So maybe you also struggle with opening up to the mystery of this world. Maybe you're someone that always wants guarantees, that wants things to be very logical, things to make really sense. So you might overthink a lot. You might discard anything that you can't explain. And maybe this will be some of your challenges. And then let's see, what's the third card? The third card is misfortune. And it has like a gambling machine. So it can be financial for some of you, that you don't believe you are worthy of your income, of the money you make. So you make it go away by gambling or spending your money unwisely and not investing. Maybe you made some bad investment choices, and you now realize you made investment choices out of fear instead of of seeking long-term goals, knowing that everything you need is taken care of. I also had this hit of somebody, not all of you, somebody in this collective are mixed up with the wrong people. You know, you see like if you look closer, there's a devil, a skull, and looks like a pretty mean cat. So it's also saying sometimes our misfortune is because we are surrounded by people that should not be in our lives. You know that saying of, if you lay with the dogs, you will catch fleas. That's that kind of... So maybe for whoever this is for, you need to ask yourself, why do you have the friends that you have? What's the reason that you connect to them? And if they bring in negativity into your life, why is it that you allow that to happen? What is the secondary reward you get from having somebody in your life that makes your life difficult? What is it that you get out of it? And this will bring you into that conversation with your ego and your shadow. Like, okay, what's this all about? Why do I have friends in my life that always wants to borrow money, for instance? And it's because you feel like you're not worthy of your own money. And now you created like this idea that, look, I'm helping people, so I don't have money because I'm helping people. But you're helping the wrong people in the wrong way. So this is just a few ideas of interesting shadow work or patterns that some of you can have in your life that you maybe want to have a conversation with your ego about. Spirit, is there anything else that you want to bring forth, like how about this pattern, about what will happen when this pattern heals? Yeah, let's see if there's any more. I'm going to do a couple more oracle cards. And just ask Spirit, is there any more additional advice, either in how to work on these patterns, or what is the outcome of these patterns? Yeah, it's definitely called for you here in the bones too, is to go inward and do a autopsy on yourself, a mental autopsy on yourself. And once you excavate this, it's going to be very powerful for you. So it gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, which is a lot, but I'm going to read it. And this is card number 9, which says principle. And the message I got from reading this is also like to turn back to the basics. Turn back to the highest in yourself. Turn back to things that's simple and high in vibration and energy, and connect with the divine. Here's the divine. You know, it has Jupiter here in Sagittarius, so it's both. Sagittarius is about taking aim as well, really focus on the divine to help you with this pattern. Ask the divine, help me with this specifically. And it already started for you with this reading. And then there's the card of appreciation. To appreciate the beauty of everything in your life that you already have. To appreciate the fact that you're now at the place where you can see this pattern and where you are ready to lay it down. And because you are ready to call in your blessings and prosperity, you know this is a roadblock, and you know you have to take care of that. And that is such a blessing already, because a lot of time people don't even see what they need to take care of in their life. They just kind of flounder and hope for the best. And then we have excitement card 3 here. Excitement. And you know, there's this saying you hear from the manifesting community that says you have to always follow your excitement. And instead of, you know, holding on to this pattern that sabotages your life or blocks your life, just as you are connected to the divine, just feel what you're excited about and follow that, and bring in that light into, you know, this looks like clouds, like kind of dark, and then this light is being called in. Calling in light into these patterns that you is no longer serving you. And drama. And you can see it's just that I sometimes call it the toxic washing machine. You know, some people, they just in a spin cycle of drama, and it's one thing after another, and they really revel in that, to be in the drama washing machine. So if you find that maybe it's these people in your life that is causing misfortune in your life, and it's because they're creating drama. It's really important when people create drama in your life, or is to not really give them access to you, because they need your energy to perpetuate this washing machine. So look at those people around you. Who needs to... I always say, I see myself, there's a big river in front of me. And then everybody that co-creates with me, that collaborates and that reciprocate with energy on this side of the river with me. But if there's somebody that creates drama and that's negative or gossips or have a lot of toxicity in them, I ask them to go stand on the other side of the river. And I feel like that's a very helpful way for me to prepare my energy to shift people, like who's going to be on this side of the river with me and who's going to be on the other side. And I always envision there's no boat, or I control the canoe who's taken to the other side. And you know, maybe sometimes if somebody, like a family member that have gone through changes, you can bring back. But yeah, send these people to the other side of the river, so you can work on this shadow of yours in peace. And flattery. So for me, of course, this is Gemini energy, but be careful of your ego, in the sense that sometimes when we go into our conversation with our egos and we ask, you know, to work on our shadows, this these thoughts we have about ourselves. So it interjects that your ego can be very, very, very clever, and it can come around with flattery and with some justification, because it wants to keep that familiar pattern in your life, because somehow a pattern that's familiar, no matter how toxic it is, can make you feel that you connected somehow, that it makes sense, that you already know kind of the meaning of it, even if it's negative and toxic. So sometimes as you're having this conversation with your ego, pay attention as well to that language. Pay attention to the language about your narrative, the language about your language. And then the last card is order. And it's the moon. So this for me is the number 6, and it's about, the 6 in tarot can be the Lovers. So it's about making choices. So it's about making choices that will create alignment in your mind. Go into your mind and sow new seeds, so that if there is any patterns trapped in your mind, that these new seeds will kind of push it out. So it's also a question of, as you're working on this pattern in your life or any negativity, is also bringing in new ideas, a new story, a new way of seeing yourself, new friends. And then as you are slowly releasing the one element, a new element's already there to take its space. Anything else, Mother, that needs to come through? She just wanted to say that you are guided. You are already in the right container of your guides, of the divine, to do this work. And for some of you, it's going to be smaller than you think. It's not like this huge deal. It's just like this one little pattern that needs to be shifted. And like I said, the gates is going to open up, and there's going to be this flow opening up in your life. And this is truly what your soul wants. This is what the divine wants from you. You are having a circle of caring beings that ask you to reach out to them, to give them permission to help you. This is a very pertinent law in the spiritual world. Give permission to benevolent beings to help you, because they cannot just intervene willy-nilly. They can intervene if it looks like your life is in danger. But when it comes to our daily flow and inner work and guidance, call them in and give them permission. Call in the highest beings of light and love and benevolence that wants to do what's the greatest good for you and everybody around you, and for all, and for this planet. Call them in and say, show me the way. Help me unravel this. I give you permission. If you work with the angels, give the angels permission to intervene. They will gladly do so, but they respect your sovereignty. So they are not just going to willy-nilly, you know, jump in as they please. Because that will be similar to an energy of codependency if you translate the 3D energy into the spiritual realm. That will be similar, and spirit of light and love don't do that. They respect your sovereignty. But they're always there and willing to help. You are so loved, and as always, it has been a pleasure. My name is Anya, and I will see you in the next video. Jai Ma.